Are we recording right now?
Are we singing?
This just cut out. You want to sing with us? This just gets us in the mood.
Okay.
It's like officially starting.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know that we'll ever start.
Hey Siri, remind me to tell Leila about this crazy thing that happened yesterday.
Voice memo, Hannah. You will not believe who I saw last night.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to tell you the epiphany I just had.
Girl, I know we just talked, but I forgot the best part of the story.
Leila, I cannot wait to tell you.
Hannah, I literally can't wait to tell you.
I can't wait to tell you.
I can't wait to tell you.
I can't wait to tell you.
Hey, Leila.
Hey, Hannah.
How are you?
I'm doing really good. It's a glorious day.
It's a glorious day.
How are you doing?
I'm also doing really good. It feels like Chicago summer is like
It's begun.
happening. It's begun. Socializing, just having a blast. We had like a beautiful Sunday morning, and it actually ties into our guests today.
It really does.
Because we woke up and I worked at Fourth this morning, the yoga studio, movement studio. And then you actually kind of big update. Leila's on her 3-week trial at Fourth. Claire, who I've already converted, the three of us did hot yoga together while I was working. Then we all walked home, got pistachio Fritos, got pastries, then walked all the way back, and it just really felt like the perfect morning with friends.
I mean, I'm always in love with Chicago, but God, it really made me fall back in love with Chicago. It was like the farmer's market. Everyone was out. There was just like, everyone was smiling like, up and down the streets. But yeah, the yoga class felt so good.
Yeah.
Good detox.
Good detox. I think we should just kind of get our guest in here because it is an exciting day.
It really is.
I have talked all about Fourth on this podcast, and I've been trying to get this person on for a bit, and they're finally here, and it's really exciting. So give it up for Eleanor.
Hi.
Hey.
Thanks for having me.
Eleanor, what's your last name?
My last name is Sheers. Eleanor
Sheers.
Eleanor Sheers.
Yes.
So Eleanor is the owner, founder of Fourth, and my boss. And it's just so exciting because I don't know, there's so much I want to dive into, but just how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm hot off teaching 3 classes, and yeah, it's just a treat to get to come in here, get your energy, and Hannah's the boss today.
I'm the boss today for the one day. And are we allowed to say?
I'll be the Allen.
I'm pregnant also, so it's just part of the package.
I'm like, that's so much of just having to like teach 3 classes back to back, come here, talk. I mean, you wear a lot of hats.
Yeah.
And you're literally wearing a hat.
I am wearing
A fourth hat.
A fourth
right
hat.
now, in case you forgot. I love being in movement. Like, I love what I do. I quit my day job to do this, so it's like energizing, but definitely like pregnancy is giving me a reckoning of like how much energy do I actually have and where I'm spending it. So it's making me just be really conscious about that.
Totally. I kind of want to hear your whole origin story of how you came to Fourth and what you were doing before.
How I came to Fourth. So I was a management consultant. I worked for a big company called Accenture.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
My brother used to work there.
It's like 500,000 people work there. It's like big tech management consulting firm. Great place to like learn and grow right out of college. I did that for 5 years. And then I went and worked for a non-alcoholic startup. I had just started teaching like yoga on the side. And I wanted to just do more in the wellness space besides like including my 9 to 5. And and I was there for a little bit, and then I went to work for a CPG company that does like a lot of data in like the consumer packaged goods space. So like I worked a lot with like Whole Foods and natural grocers, and we worked with like data. So when you go to like WholeFoods.com, I worked for the company that like told you what's vegan and what's not. And that was kind of like, okay, I'm still doing tech. I still have like a consistent 9 to 5. But it just like but it's in wellness. That's cool. But it just like wasn't serving me. And yeah, I had the idea about Fourth in like 2022. At the time, I just started working for Solid Core as well. And the yoga world and the solid core are just very different. Like at the time, yoga's like was a lot more like independent contractors, studios kind of just letting the teachers do whatever they want. You don't really get benefits, and solid core is like the complete opposite, where it's like, here's exactly what we want you to do. We want you to show up at this time. We want you to teach exactly like this. And it was just like made me think more about like, what's the business model behind, you know, with my business background, like what's the business model behind movement, you know? And everything was kind of reopening after COVID too. So there's just like a lot of interest in wellness in general, and people were just more mindful consumers. And I had the concept for Fourth of being like a multimodality space, which is still, it's becoming more of a thing, but it didn't used to really be a thing.
Yeah, it's so rare, I feel like, to find a studio that has Pilates, yoga, breathwork, strength, like all of the stuff.
In 2022, it really it was like there was the yoga studios, there was like the Pilates studios, there's like the strength training gyms, and it wasn't really normal to have like a ton of that different stuff. Like, I know, like Core Power has like sculpt and yoga, but that's kind of like it. And so, I had like all these different interests in what I like to teach, and I wanted to bring it under one house and have these teachers who also like kind of had a similar method of teaching that the physical body is a tool to access the mind, and that somatics and embodiment is kind of like the goal here in everything we do. And I sat on it for a year, and basically like after a year of just like talking to my teachers and talking to colleagues, I was like, I feel like I should go for this. It was just, like my job was fine. It was comfortable, but I've kind of now know that in retrospect, when I'm comfortable, that's like the great time to like take the next step and do something outside of your comfort zone. And so it was like really scary to like sign a lease and quit my day job and open an LLC and put money in a bank account, just like watch it go away. And then we opened in April 2024. So I sat on the concept for a while before even doing anything. And we opened in Avondale. Immediately after we opened, like construction happened, and it was like tough. Like the first year, it's like no one even knows who you are. You're just like trying to get your name out there. And we grew a lot since then. We opened a second space down the street, which is more at like the heart of Logan Square, which is like for hot yoga, hot Pilates, which is how we got Hannah. Hannah was like, I'm here for the hot, and then doesn't even go to any of the hot classes anymore.
I literally don't.
But that's like not, and that's like kind of the business model too, is like, you kind of, people want options, people are not going to do the options. They want the options.
100%.
And so, you did the hot today. So
I did the hot today. I do the hot sometimes, but I did whenever I got hired, I was like, I love hot yoga. I can't wait for the hot yoga studio to open. And then I got so loyal to my classes at the home studio. It's also just, we talk about how like each studio has a different vibe.
Yes,
And I also get like kind of attached to the regulars.
Yeah.
I get attached to the people who I do certain classes with. And that's something, I guess first question.
Yeah.
It's also crazy to hear you kind of spell it out of being like how it started in 2024. Cause now it feels like it's like so expanded.
Yeah.
Where it feels like it has been open for so long where
It's not even been, it's been 2 years, which is
That's
crazy.
insane.
Isn't it crazy?
Because I feel like you already have such a wide outreach, and also you saying like that you had the idea in 2022 and then opened in 2024. I feel like that's still pretty fast.
Yeah. Well, it took me like a year and a half to open Studio 1. Studio 2, I had I went to this breathwork training in DC and just had the realization that I was like, if I want to grow this business a lot faster, I need to have hot, because it's the most popular modality in Chicago for yoga. And especially there's not really like a lot of hot Pilates in Chicago. And it's something like, as someone who travels, and I really like, again, I have this business background. Like I go to New York like several times a year, and I'm like, what's big here? You know? And like, to be honest, I think Chicago's like usually a beat behind that.
Yes. The trickle down of what's cool.
I didn't say that. And so
I always say, because my sister's always teaching me what's cool, and she's like, a cool kid in Brooklyn.
Breathwork is like we were like the first studio to have breathwork on the calendar regularly.
I want to hear more about that too,
because I want to hear how your class was the other day.
I just took your breathwork class, and basically I went to this acupuncturist, and then I've been going to this like somatic energy work woman.
Cool.
And everyone keeps telling me that I have a really tight diaphragm.
Okay.
And I was saying this to Hannah the other day that I think part of it is like that genetically, like I think I am not taking full breaths, and because of my like somatic trauma. But then also Hannah had recommended this book called Women Living Deliciously, which is such a good book. And I read it like a year and a half ago. And in the beginning, she talks about how like as women, we're like taught to hold ourselves in and just like constantly like hold your breath. And I think because of like my body dysmorphia and all of that, like I'm like constantly like sucking in.
I was just talking with being pregnant. I was just talking to someone because I have like other friends who are like at the same pace of pregnancy, and they're like, your bump looks like a good bump. And I'm like, no, like I literally just learned you like have been sucking it in for like 20 years, and like to have like the actual pregnancy bump, you're supposed to just like not do that.
It's like the opposite of everything we're like brainwashed to do, which I'm sure is why so many people, when they do get pregnant, like kind of have a body dysmorphia transition, because you're supposed to be enjoying being pregnant, but then you're like, well, my body's changing so much. And
oh my God, that's
even
a
though you
whole
should be
other
embracing
conversation.
it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
I have like 7 things to talk about.
I
I
know,
know,
right?
keep them in your brain, because I'm so curious about
breath work. Gaining
well-
weight, being pregnant is like a whole other thing too, especially as like a fitness instructor too.
I'm sure, like me and my sister were talking about this because when she was pregnant, that was something that like was in the back of her mind, which is like, it sucks that we're thinking about that.
You're creating a human inside of you, but society makes you have this other thought of being like, and I'm gaining weight. It's like,
you better get small again.
Yes.
And that's sucks that it's like this inherent underlying pressure. But anyway, I'm trying to do more breath work.
Ozempic, that's like a whole other thing.
my
in the
God,
industry.
I know.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to like breathe more, and so
Breathing's good.
all of this
It's good
happened
for you.
right before I signed up for fourth.
Yeah.
And then the breathwork class was like the second class I
Well,
took.
and that was like more active breath work. So the breath work class we did was like using breath work techniques to like basically bring your body into, this is how I like oversimplify it, into a state of safe stress, bringing in a lot more oxygen, kind of just like flushing out the brain, and like an oversimplification. And so you leave with like a little bit more like of a high almost, and like you leave like hopefully feeling like a little bit more clarity, or like just a bit of a reset, versus like there's definitely like you can use breath work to like calm down and relax and almost like ease yourself into more of like a neutral state.
Yeah.
And so there's like, so it's such a cool tool that gives you such a more immediate influence on your nervous system.
Yeah.
And it's something that like you might see in like a yoga class. You used to see in a lot more yoga classes, and you just don't see as much. And now you're seeing more in like the longevity world, and like almost like the bro, like
maxing, the looks maxing.
Because it's
shit.
like, it is really good for your like heart rate variability and things like that.
Yeah.
And you know, there's like the cold plunge thing too with breath work, but it's like not something you see at studios as much in Chicago.
Yeah.
And so that was something that I like. Breath work has been just a really therapeutic tool for me, and like points in my life where I really needed support like that. And it was something that I was like, where do I take this in Chicago? Like I don't have really a regular, like every Monday night there's a breathwork class. That was something when I opened Fourth, we actually had a lot more breathworks on the schedule. And like, that's, you learn, like our original 4 modalities with Fourth was like yoga, strength training, breathwork, and a restorative class, which originally was going to be more like just a seated meditation, which last minute pivoted to this like sound bath, stretchy class. And breathwork, like I had other teachers on it. It was like morning, evening, week. And it was just like, people don't even know what this is.
Yeah.
Like there's just not that demand.
It's scary.
Yeah, and it's kind of intense, you know? And it's also like the one modality I'm like, there are actually like people who should not be taking this, because it's like if you're like epileptic, if you have cardiovascular stuff, if you're pregnant, like I can't take breath work right now, which I hate. That's like the stressful thing about being pregnant, is all these things that regulate me. I can't do.
Also, just in that, so I don't forget, what I really appreciate about Fourth is like, all the teachers are so knowledgeable and check in with
good here.
you know, I'm like, I don't know what Hannah's
for sure.
but you know what I mean? Of like, even you being like, there are some people who shouldn't take breath work, like X, Y, Z. And the fact that like every teacher checks in of being like, hey, is there anything that I need to know in like a real, genuine way of being like, communicate what you need, and I'm going to tell you my recommendation, not to try to sell you classes, but to, even if that means scaling back or whatever that is.
People like, you're probably good, don't take more Pilates, you know?
Right.
Like, you don't need to come to my Pilates class anymore. You don't need just 45 minutes of straight core. You'll get core in other modalities.
Yes,
you know?
totally.
And same with breath work. It's like, this isn't really the modality for you, but
How did you feel leaving?
how was it?
I felt really energized, and definitely, if anything, I just felt like much more in my body.
Cool.
Which I thought was really cool. But wait, I wanted to hear so you took a training in DC.
Yeah. Oh
and
my
then-
God. I'm like 7 conversations.
No,
Right,
no.
So this is how
This is
this
how it
podcast
goes. There's like,
how it goes.
yeah.
I did a breathwork training. I've done like a lot of Mod Podges of like on like the yoga teacher training. There's like a 200 hour. It's very standardized. Breathwork's not like that. And so I've done like a ton of different trainings. So I did one in DC that was more focused on like individual, like one-on-one breathwork. So I do privates and stuff, which are so cool. But I did a training in DC, and I just had this like realization that I was like, oh, like I need to add hot. Like I'd already been thinking about adding hot. I was like, because I like even at points within the first year, like got quotes on infrared panels, but the first studio was like one big room. So if you fry the students, you're gonna fry literally all their stuff in the lobby, and it's just like all the props, dumbbells are gonna be on fire, like metal dumbbells. So we're like, okay, realistically, I was like, I need a second space for this. And also like we're filling up, like we could use more space.
Yeah.
Like that's a limit as a 1-room studio. And it's either you have to raise prices, add more classes, or add more space, you know, or add more classes, or adding more space in that. So I would rather take that route. And yeah, I was like, let me just literally get like the smallest place ever. Literally just walk in, and it's like a hot box, like literally just like a room, throw a bunch of mats in there, have the teacher do check-in, and then it turned into this whole fucking like, let me just dump a bunch of money into this thing, put it right at the center of Logan Square. It works.
I love it.
Yeah, it really took the business off, which I'm thankful for. I mean, we were already solid before, but it really like doubled the membership and stuff, which I'm thankful for, and it's paying off. But yeah, I mean, from that idea to launch was like 8 or 9 months. So that was like way quicker. Then that was
So
like, okay,
fast.
came back from the retreat, called a real estate agent, was like, let's start looking, found a spot within like 2 weeks. And it was just like the perfect spot.
It's
Called
such a good spot in Logan Square.
Like everything really came in like into play like it was meant to. So yeah, it came, and also second time doing it was so much easier than the first. Like even just like the second studio is all custom built. So it's like, okay, like when you walk in, here's where check-in is, versus the first studio. Like I know you work at both.
Yeah.
And so closing out at the first one's like, oh, this is over here and this is over here.
Right.
It's like, no, like the lights are in the studio room. They're not like outside. So it's just kind of funny between the two, but it's been a great experience. So I'm glad you're enjoying it. Both of you.
I mean, it's so, I think it's so interesting because it is like a space that I always wanted. Like it contains all the things that I wanted like a workout space to be that I just truly have never been able to find. Like in Chicago, like I've been members at like different yoga studios, different gyms, but truly just the community and the vibe and the kindness and the way that even members show up for each other and teachers show up. It's just like super special.
It's different.
It's different.
Yeah, it's like weird how people. It makes you think how weird it is. Like what I say to people is that I used to go to the same 6 a.m. class at other studios every single week, and I would never know the name of the people next to me. I would go for like a year, and it's just like I knew their faces. Didn't know anything about them, and that's so weird.
It
like,
is weird, but then it feels like
so
that
weird.
thing of like you're 6 months in, we've been by each other every single
not
day.
gonna
We're
say
now
anything now.
like, what is different today?
And that's worth mentioning. Something that's very cool about Fourth is that at the beginning of every class, the teacher says, oh, okay, here's a prompt question. Introduce yourself to your neighbors, say your pronouns, and then answer this question. Like, what's something you're looking forward to this weekend? And I just think it's so cool because you're spending like 2 or 3 minutes at the beginning of class to have to force yourself to conversate with someone new, which is very scary.
Yeah.
But it makes you have to build a sense of community versus just like going and working out and then like checking out. Like you're not present.
Yes. And I think in my mind, it did sound like, oh, that sounds hard to do every class. But then when you do it and you get to know people, it just comes so easy.
At first, it's awkward for people. They're like,
they're
what,
like, what
are you
is
asking me to do?
And what me and Eleanor always talk about, it's like, I feel like Fourth people either like know immediately that they like it,
It
or
helps to weed people
immediately
out.
that they're like, this is not my thing.
Yeah. If you're like not cool acknowledging the human next to you's existence, like you're not gonna be a good fit.
You're not gonna
like,
be
You set a
honestly,
good tone for it.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm kind of like that with my business where it's like, and that's how I feel about being an entrepreneur and like having my own business, let alone physical space and community, is like, I have to set rules that like, if you can't follow these rules, we don't want you here.
Exactly.
And it's like being on time, like obviously people run late, but there's consequences, you know? And that if you're gonna like expect the whole class to be held up because you need you're gonna be 2 minutes late every day. Like that's not cool, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like, we close the doors at class times. It's also only 45-minute classes. So it's like, you don't want to be late, you know? And just even like how we work with students and stuff, like I really don't put up with people who are just like, expect the world to be handed to them on a silver platter. We're also not charging enough money for that.
There's a lot of like mutual respect of like our members being like, yeah, I'm running late. That's on me.
Yeah.
I'll take
it.
Like, yes,
It's also a $10 fee. It's
Right.
like,
Yeah.
literally a coffee.
I told this to Hannah, but like I went to LA a week and a half ago, and I just went to like a studio that was
Where'd you
close.
go? Well, maybe don't. We don't want to shame. It sounds like this is not a good story.
No,
we
well,
it's a good story.
Yeah, we could bleep it if we
Bleep it.
want.
Yeah,
I
I'm
went
curious.
to.
Okay, that's interesting. Now I'm gonna like,
ooh. Well, like
you all don't get to know.
I liked the thing that was interesting about it, and I think in some ways it like got me to sign up for Fourth because I just like loved how my body was feeling after, because this acupuncturist that I went to like kind of set me up on being like, here are things you need to do. And so she was telling me how like doing movement or yoga or like any sort of hip opening thing would be good for me, but also like in a hot class. And so my cousins lived close to this, and all of their classes were hot. So I was like, all right, I'll check it out. And I did one hot sculpt class. And I really liked the class itself, but like, and I liked that it was dark. I liked that there was no mirrors. And like, it was the first time where I could like go to a class and just be like bald and take my shirt off and not feel like self-conscious. But I know, but then at the same time, like the instructor was not personable at all. Like, came in and was just like, okay, everybody ready? We're going to start with these weights, and then turn the music up, and like wasn't giving a lot of instruction or adjustments. And I really like, I just don't like, it sets up this kind of tone of feeling unsafe because
It's psychological
you're like,
safety.
I'm not
yeah.
quite sure exactly what we're doing. I'm following your steps, but like you're not giving that much direction, rather than like, I need a teacher that cares.
Yes.
I need a teacher that, and then on the other hand, like the other thing that I really liked when we went to like Alan's yoga class, the whole class had an intention of like, here's what I want you to be thinking about at the beginning of class. And then by the end, like still keeping it in mind for the day. And I think like that is so helpful and important because it forces you to be present in your workout versus just like getting her done. And I get it. Like I am someone who like, I used to love just like sprinting 3 miles on a treadmill and just like rocking out. And I get that. But when I'm taking a class, I need someone to like be thoughtful and care.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you had that good experience. Yeah, it's interesting. I honestly think that's been the norm for a lot of fitness is like people just want to come and like get skinny. It's like basically like cue them to do that, and you don't really need to do anything else. I like to say people come to work out for one of two reasons, like, or come to move, right? Come to move, any movement or meditation, like to change their body or to change their minds. And most people, it's a bit of both, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's the thing that I keep in mind with my classes is like, there are people who are like, I'm here to lose weight and, you know, work out consistently, like have a, you know, healthy approach to life and you'll achieve those goals.
Yeah.
But that's not the hard part. The hard part is the mind, you know?
Right.
And like also in that, you know, if you change the mind, it's going to have a lot more sustainable impact. And like the fact that we have such a strong correlation between how you move the body impacts the mind. And that's not really talked about in movement. In the yoga world, it used to be more like in more traditional.
Definitely.
Like that's the whole point of yoga.
Right.
Literally, that's like the whole historical point of yoga. It's like was a religious thing, you know? And the whole point of that isn't to get fit. It's to change how your reaction and connection to the divine, you know, and realization that we're all connected. And like, that is a mental thing. It's not a physical thing. You just use the body as an access point to it. And I think that we're starting to see more of that in the movement industry, but that's always been at the forefront for Fourth is that like, this is just a tool. The body is a tool. It's an access point.
I always love in your class when we're doing something hard, like recently you've made the plank time longer.
I made the plank time longer. You are doing it though.
I know. Well, it used to be like in the middle of Pilates, we would hold the plank for a minute, and then now it's 75 seconds, and it's just like getting towards the end.
I thought about doing 2 minutes the other day.
I mean,
you would have done
it.
The
thing is, it's like the class is all getting stronger together because it's all these regulars, and then we're doing it, but. Like in those last 15 seconds, 20 seconds, Eleanor's like, what are your thoughts right now? Like, pay attention to what you're saying to yourself. And it is always like,
I'm glad it resonated.
You know, but then it's like how you show up to hard moments in workout can teach you how to show up to hard moments in your life. And so it's like this like pain is like momentary, and it's like making you stronger and more well-equipped to deal with those things
You
in your
guys
life.
go teach my class afterwards. I'm glad
Pain
it's
is the
like,
game.
I mean, but I say that in Pilates, I say that in breathwork,
Yeah.
you know, and that's kind of like I teach all these, and that's kind of also the thing with fourth is that it's just different ways to move your body. Like back to where we were talking about like 5 conversations ago, 50 conversations ago. I taught at Solid Core for 3-4 years, and 3 years. Let me not exaggerate. And I saw it basically grow from like 4 people in my 6 a.m. class to like crazy wait lists. I mean, Solid Core is like an amazing entity that has built a very solid business model and deserves all the success. And I learned a lot from working at them. It's just how to be. They give so much. I got more feedback as a coach there than I did at my day job. Like they know how to take someone off the street and turn them into a solid coach. And a lot of what I do in class, actually, like I learned from there in terms of like just calling out names, hosting the party and stuff, which sounds so basic, but it's like,
No, they
you
really
go
get to
other
know you.
studios and you're like, why is like, there's no interaction between me and the coach, you know?
Yeah.
And so, with that,
I went to a solid core class also when I was in California, and I really enjoyed it because the teacher was like
human.
so hands-on.
Yeah. And that's like, honestly, that's how Pilates is supposed to be too, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
When I opened fourth, I was like, I am done with Pilates. Like, I don't want to do Pilates. And then people wanted it. And so we like rolled that out. And that's how we're going to be rolling out like a cardio sculpt class, which I used to teach like back in the day. And like,
And that one's going to be at the Hot Studio, right?
yeah. So
That'll be
it'll
something Leila's going to like.
yeah, I want it to be more intentional. I'm working on that. And like, you know, we also don't really have as consistent formats. Like we have things you're supposed to do in every class, but that's one where I'm playing around with like giving teachers like, okay, it's going to be like a consistent format potentially. So and the heat's going to be a little lower also. So I'm jumping around. So I'm going to probably be comfortable teaching that like for a pop-up here and there. So I haven't taught at the Hot Studio in a while, so it'll be fun.
Yeah.
And then, and also just like a different way. People are like, I have no cardio at fourth. And I'm like, yeah, that's real. Like we could probably
Some of the
do
strength
some
classes, people will sneak
you get
in
your heart
some
rate up.
cardio.
Yeah. And just like you are moving, if you're moving quickly from exercise to exercise, you're getting like zone 2, zone 3, like your heart rate up. But
yeah, I think I always growing up and like being an athlete or just also in the like 2000s world of workout, it was like women are supposed to do at least an
Cardio
hour
bunnies.
of cardio.
Yeah.
It's like
as you go to the gym and just get on the treadmill.
do the Stairmaster, blah, blah, blah. So it's been like a refreshing thing in my life right now to be like, I love to walk and that's easy for me. And then being like, oh, I don't have to, or even like the world of HIIT. Like I dove into the world of HIIT at a certain point. And I do think it's good, but it was also like I would be dreading my workouts.
Yeah.
Absolutely
It's really hard.
dreading doing them. And that is like the thing, because I brought my friend Carrie, friend of the pod, who is officially back in Chicago.
Woo-hoo! Friend of the pod.
Yes. And
Friend of
she,
fourth, friend of the pod.
Friend of fourth, friend of pod.
And she came to our first fourth class yesterday, and she's probably going to sign up for a membership.
Hannah's like running the show.
No, literally. Hannah's getting her entire friend group.
Yeah.
But it's so
You're basically moving
much
in.
fun.
It's so much fun to move with friends.
It literally
It
is. And it's such an easy way to build in time with your friends of being like, we can walk to the studio together, take a class, and get a coffee.
rocks.
And then it's like, oh, I got to like have a
We have friend groups where
hang.
like someone lives nearby, someone lives like in Jefferson Park, like way north, and someone lives in like Wicker, and this is like their central point. Like we have like lots of, it's cute.
Yes.
It's interesting with strength training. So we have a strength training modality, which basically is like every now and then they'll throw in maybe like a HIIT exercise for max a minute, but like for the most part, it's like very like just strength training, like push-ups, squats, like just things that are so straightforward. And people tell me all the time, they're like, oh my God, when they go from like a sculpt class, like at other studios that's like a little bit more popular in the yoga world, they come take a strengthen class, they're like expecting kind of a sculpt class. And they're like, I didn't feel like I was dying. I'm like, yeah, like you actually, like this is a way more efficient way to get stronger and build muscle mass because your heart rate isn't like through the roof. So
Yeah. Okay. We should dive into our 3 C's.
Wait,
do you have something else?
The only thing I was gonna say is that I used to teach spinning and like
really?
I
didn't know you're a fit pro. I love this.
Girl.
Wow,
It's a whole
I
thing.
kind of always wish I taught spin.
I loved teaching spinning.
Here in Chicago?
Yeah, I used to teach at Southport start fitness.
Okay,
and
fun.
then after 2 years, I was supposed to sub someone's class and I forgot. And they fired me to make an example out of me because other people kept forgetting to sub.
Wow.
And then after that, I just stopped teaching.
Wow.
But I taught for like 4 years. And like, I've always been like a biker and into spinning, but I loved it. I would like come up with these like really specific playlists and like was so into it, and I'd gone through all these different trainings, and then I still have my spinning playlist.
I was like, would you
Yeah.
ever get back into teaching spinning?
I would
as a
love
side
to.
gig?
I tried to like, but some of the spinning studios,
Spin's
that's the
kinda
thing.
dying.
Like, I
Spin
don't
is sort of
like.
dying.
I don't really like just spinning.
R.I.P.
Like I like having.
You should go
other
to ecstatic
stuff.
dance first off next week. Have you told her about this?
Well, the ecstatic
Whole other
dance is like a
conversation.
whole other. This is like another
Yeah.
new modality that's
I love.
coming
We'll
to
talk
forth.
about this another time.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, listeners.
How's it going?
It's Hannah.
Let me start over.
It's Hannah.
It's Leila.
and we have a huge favor to ask you.
In fact, we can't wait to tell you about it.
We can't wait to tell you to actually please like and subscribe if you are enjoying this episode right now. Leave us a review, a comment, a like. It makes our day.
It really helps us out. And listen, we're trying to get sponsored so that we can make more episodes for you guys.
Don't you want that for us?
And don't you want more hot juice?
The more you guys help us, we'll help you.
It's communal, you guys. Anyways, enjoy the rest of the app. Okay, so first C,
Yes.
what are you consuming right now?
Okay, so I'm like your wellness person, so I'm gonna hit you with
Yes.
something a little crunchy granola. I got a grain mill for my birthday.
Ooh.
Shelby's excited. Basically, you like can mill your own grain, so it's just like fresh flour. And I've only made one thing from it because I just got it. And it was like the heartiest bread I've ever had. But it was,
my
I
God.
feel like whenever I get a loaf of bread, like because you mill it and then you use the
Yeah.
grain. And when I feel like whenever I have a loaf of bread, I just like don't feel full from it. I just like eat it personally.
Yeah.
And I like actually like had a slice. And was like, wow, I feel satiated because there's all these more like nutrients in it and stuff.
Yeah.
It's fresh, like it's fresh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it had like all the grain in it and stuff too. So yes, that's like what I'm consuming is like freshly milled bread.
You and Hannah's aunt.
My aunt went on like a really long talk to me and Layla about
at
how
like 1 a.m.
Has she been on the pod?
She has not been on the pod. That would be a really
Yeah.
fun episode.
Yeah, that would be
She's
a
got lot to
crazy
say.
good episode.
But she is very, very, she's been vegan. She's done all of the different
Yeah.
things. She's very into health. And that was like her new thing for this year. She wanted to do a grain mill and she wanted like the best one. And she really wanted to like,
I think my mom just got me something from like China. Like I don't know what she got me, but it works.
She was like, because she's also had times where she's like gone off gluten because she thought gluten kind of like inflamed her. But then I think a lot of, because she was telling you how she was basically like, if you mill your own, it could actually be okay if you're gluten intolerant.
Yeah. And there's just a lot more nutrients in it too.
Yeah. How long was the process?
I mean, the grinding wasn't bad. It was like it's
really?
like a Vitamix basically, but
Really?
for like 4 seeds and like grain. So, but it's like the grinding doesn't take a while.
Yeah.
It's but then you bake the bread. So it's like if you're not going to bake your bread, then what
I
are you
feel
going to
like
do with it?
so many of our issues come from how processed everything is, like how bread is just so ultra processed. And I don't really eat a lot of gluten-free bread because it'll have like such high sugar content or all these different chemicals in it. So I would be open to that.
Yeah, it's fun.
A little. Does it taste good?
Yeah, it was like hearty. I should have brought you some
Hearty.
Hearty. I
Hearty.
need to make more. You can get different, also just things I didn't even think about with what I'm consuming. Like different types of grain. Like I got a more like hearty grain and it's like, okay, I'm going to get like a less hearty grain. And then, just like, you don't really think about that when you just go buy a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
Just be, I used to work in like the food space and very conscious of nutrition labels because that's like the data I worked with and I'm vegan. And I think that is, we just don't even realize what's in our food. And like, I'm also being pregnant too. Like I'm way more, as like a pregnant person, I will drink like Dr. Peppers over an Olipop because Olipop has like natural flavors and their own like personal, proprietary blend and stuff. And you don't know what's in that. And it's like, you don't know also, especially with all these things, like ashwagandha is like bad for pregnancy and
Whoa.
fertility. No one talks about this. And it's like,
Leila takes ashwagandha every day.
yeah, I used to. I
used to take
It made me
ashwagandha all
happy.
the time.
Yeah, but it's like because it impacts your hormones, and also it's just that we don't know the long term effects of that because it's
Yeah.
like everyone's taking. No one has taken ashwagandha in this life, like this lifestyle we're in, at the dosages we're having it
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
And so we just also don't know what like the long-term impact is. And like you drink a Celsius and it has like tons of L-theanine, which is like a chemical that, again, we're not used to just like dumping into our drinks.
Right.
And let alone people slam like 2 to 3 of them a day. And it's like, we just don't know what the impact of those are,
Yeah.
you know, at those dosages. Let alone with being pregnant. So I'm like, pregnant women have been drinking Dr. Pepper for decades. Like, I'd much rather drink that.
Does
than,
Dr.
like,
Pepper have any natural flavors
I
in
don't
it?
know. I think it's technically actually like a pepper soda. It's like it's like different. I looked into it versus a cola. It's not a cola.
Whoa.
Yeah, maybe
not
fact
a
check
cola.
this. Do you do a fact check section?
We don't.
No.
That's the thing. We don't fact check.
We don't fact
anything.
check.
There's no fact.
A lot of
Shelby, here we go.
misinformation on
Shelby's
this.
got some info.
Yeah.
Contains
It contains natural flavors. But
I don't
it's
know.
not a
Well, and
cola.
so anytime something says natural flavors, it's like they could throw anything in there.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah.
I mean, this kind of goes back to, because we touched on it, but we didn't like go down the rabbit hole of like how you growing like a baby
Yeah.
inside of you, and then also like worrying about what you eat. Like, where is like your mindset with all that? Like,
Yes.
what are you like surprised about? Because you're our first pregnant person on the
Yay.
podcast.
Yes.
So like
Congrats.
just kind of diving, if you don't mind, like diving
Yeah.
more into being like, oh my God, my body's changing. I didn't realize X, Y, Z.
Things people don't talk about.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's the thing about it is that like you want to gain weight, and that's like
Yeah.
so different from how a lot of females and just humans like are conditioned. Is like
Yeah.
gaining weight is good. And there are times like my first trimester, I was so nauseous that I had to eat like every 2 hours in order to not feel nauseous. And like I found at this point, I'm in my second trimester, that I feel the best when I'm eating healthy, when I'm active, and I think it's like just helping all the symptoms and everything too. So it's like a cyclical thing where I'm like, okay, obviously I'm gonna eat like, if I'm having a craving for something, I'll
Yeah.
have that. But I feel that the longer I'm like eating healthy, the better I feel.
Yeah.
Which you're probably like, that's not what I wanted to hear. But no, I mean, were you there? We had a student who was like, oh my God, are you eating everything you like ever wanted to eat? And it's like, there's this thing with pregnancy where it's like eating for 2, but it's like this baby weighs a pound and I've gained like 25 pounds. Like
Yeah.
it's literally like you are not eating for 2. You're only eating like a little bit more, but you're also just more tired. Like, I don't have the energy. I was telling my husband this morning, I was like, I can't wait to go rip like 3 workouts a day. Like, I haven't been able to do that in so long because I'm lucky if I get to 3 workouts a week now. And so there's something about just like, I think more about holistically, personally, about just like how much energy do I have versus like the scale.
Yeah.
Personally, but it is like definitely a hard time for women who, I mean, and I taught at Solid Core and I'm like, retrospective, why are these pregnant women at Solid Core? Why are you trying to have a fit
Right.
core right now?
Exactly.
You know? Like, of all things, versus like our pregnant students at Fourth, I really encourage you to go like strength training.
yeah.
And even like some yoga as well, just to increase like some mobility and flexibility as well, because that
Yeah.
will only help. But like when you're giving birth, what I'm like working on now is like glute strength, a little bit of core strength, a little bit of upper body strength, because that's what you need when you're like actually giving birth as well. So that's like, and then also like recovery. Like I want to have, who knows, my birth plan is to have a baby, but like
Yeah.
I want to have as healthy a delivery as I possibly can prepare for, and a healthy recovery too. And like
Yeah.
the more fit you are going into it, like the more fit, more easier recovery will be. Just like
Totally.
anything, like any injury.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
So.
And kind of different.
I don't know
but
if that
same
answered
vein. No, it
anything.
did.
That
That
totally
did.
did.
Of like, okay, clearly you're an entrepreneur. You have this business. This business is growing rapidly. A, have you always known that you wanted kids? B, what was like the conversation around like the perfect timing for that?
Oh my God.
Because I feel like that,
Yeah.
especially because me and Leila talk about it a lot, where you feel like you have to hit this certain level of success before you can have a baby because it will somehow slow you down. So I'm just curious, we do very different things, but like, was that ever a conversation in your mind of like, I need my business to get here before I can have a kid, and how will that affect it going forward?
Honestly, it was. I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have a kid my first year of opening a new studio. Like, and actually,
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
I quit my day job, my boss at the time, I was like, talking to him about whether I wanted to stay part-time, and he's like, quit, you don't have kids, like this is the time to do hustle, like get a business off the ground. And to be frank, like, yeah, like I did kind of wait until the business was at a point. There's never a perfect time, obviously. Yeah. But like, I mean, and we were trying to conceive sucks, I will also say, because you basically have to act like you're pregnant, and it's like just grappling with the unknown, which is really hard for humans. Yeah. It's like one of the hardest things. And you basically like every month like take a test and you're like, no, you know, and you're like, another month I'm like, for me, I love breathwork. I love sauna. Planning's great too. Don't get me wrong, you know. Especially the hot studio opening, like we were trying to conceive, like we took breaks. I did like a big gut cleanse last summer and like on and off, and and then it happened, like I found out I was pregnant like the day the hot studio opened to the public, which was kind of insane timing. But also I would joke that like the second the studio opens, like that's when I'm gonna find out I'm pregnant.
Right.
So
that's so
how the
crazy.
Universe works. Yeah. Which was awful timing with like getting off. I was like, oops, I'm teaching like 3 hot classes a week. Let me just secretly turn the temperature down and get out of here. But yeah, so
also it was so funny because Eleanor, I had no idea Eleanor was pregnant, and then Eleanor like left for a trip and came back.
I hate hot classes.
And literally, yes. And then Eleanor came back and was like, "Hey, I'm pregnant, by the way. So what's going?" And I was like, "Eleanor, you're pregnant."
I didn't tell like 30 of you.
You were like, "I'm pregnant. I haven't told anyone yet, but yeah, I'm pregnant." And then I was like, "Oh my god."
Oh my god, I don't even remember that. It's like pregnancy brain is real though. My memory is like worse than it normally is. But yeah, planning, like it's hard. There's never a good time. I will say like obviously the younger you are, the more physically, like again, things I'm concerned about is like recovery and teaching. Like I want to get back to teaching. Yeah. And like you'll just have better recovery the younger you are, but we're also not living in the 1940s where we're going to pop out kids at age 20 and it's like be realistic. But even if like you're considering IVF and stuff, like this is my PSA, like just like even thinking about like, okay, I'm going to freeze my eggs now, but like at what age are you going to unfreeze it? And like, just keep in mind, like your body's, it's going to be harder and harder on your body, you know? Like, cause that's something that also I was like, I could wait until the hot studio was open, but I was like, the longer I wait, like the more hard it is going to be on my physical body. And, and I use my body for work. Right, you know? Right. And so that's something I kept in mind versus if I had like an office job. Yeah. That maybe also paid to freeze my eggs. It'd be a little different too.
And it's like not fully the same, but even like being actors where it's like, okay.
Oh my God, I have no clue how you would even think about timing that.
And it's like, say you are auditioning for something and then it's like you're really excited because you're like auditioning for this thing that you could potentially get, but then it's like you get pregnant and then it's like, oh, I can't do this.
You literally
pregnant.
Can't be cast.
Or or there's just so many elements of being like, when's the right time and when and will I just give up on this path if I have a kid or whatever that may be.
I mean, and that's like, I am a business owner too. So what's interesting is like, I will be for the first time, like owning a studio without teaching. Mm-hmm. So I'm like slowly peeling off classes and like, I'm a teacher. Like that's why I opened my studios. Like you kind of see people who are like teachers who open studios, people who are like business people who open studios, or like, you know, they just hire a manager to do it all, you know, like franchises and stuff. Yeah. But you don't see as many like people who kind of have a strong background in both. And I think I frankly think that's a big reason Fourth is successful, is because like I will look at all the data and like make financial decisions based off of that and keep like accounting up to speed, and also like be able to hopefully be a good teacher too. Right. So it's like, and be able to train other teachers to teach in like this method that I resonate with and that I think they all align with for being on the team. So yeah, it's I will not be teaching, which is I think will actually be really nice to kind of take a step back. So I'm slowly like peeling off classes. Like I'm only on Sundays for a few more weeks. Yeah. So if you want to come to my Sunday classes.
I do. I need to go to your Sunday class before it's too late.
End of this month. I'm off.
Oh yeah, you're not on Friday noon anymore.
I'm done on Friday noon.
Sad.
I know. Friday noon's gone.
Friday
Wednesday
noon
I'll be on. I think basically by September, the plan is by September 1st, I'll be off everything. Okay. I'm due October, so it's kind of like
exciting.
Gives me Scorpio. I'm also going to feel like awful like at that point. I think a Libra. People keep asking me this. I'm like, this is my demographic here.
I know. Well, also your birthday was yesterday.
Yeah, your birthday.
Gemini.
So you're a Gemini. Okay.
And I always just thought you were a Scorpio.
Really?
Whoa.
Because I just feel like Eleanor looks like a Scorpio.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. Like sometimes there's like a look of like a Scorpio, and I feel like you look like a Scorpio.
I'm like, for someone in the wellness industry, I am not like the biggest astrology person. I love to hear about it, but it is just, which my dad was like an astrophysicist. Like,
whoa.
I love space. Like I was a space
Yeah.
baby, but I like had telescopes and everything. And like, but I don't know much about astrology.
I mean,
so.
I don't really either.
Not that I don't actually think there's that much in common.
That's so
but,
cool
you
that
know.
he was an astrophysicist.
Yeah, he was.
Oh my God.
Very smart. I know.
Yeah,
Pregnancy
I
is
feel
wild. Yeah.
I definitely relate to like having your body as a tool and then have, you know, basically giving your body to birth. So then you're like, when can I get my body back as a tool for
it's
my
like
work?
a 2-year process.
Yeah.
Is also
Yeah.
it. It's like you try to conceive. Who knows how long that's going to take? 9 months of pregnancy, and then who knows how long recovery is? Like that's a very long.
Yeah.
And it makes people are you going to have another? I'm like, I think, but I'm also like, let me get through one.
Right.
You know?
I know.
I also
Everyone's
think
always
that's
asking those questions.
Such a, I am so curious about why people, as soon as someone has a kid, their first question is, when are you having the next one? Or
And
like,
it's
like,
God,
chill
can we
out.
just stay
Also,
here for a second?
do you feel comfortable talking about how you're gonna be freezing your eggs?
Oh my God, that's exciting.
I'm gonna be freezing embryos in July. And
How do
so,
you feel about that?
Well,
even that, it's like a month long. Like it doesn't
That's
just
the
happen
thing.
tomorrow. You have to
like,
think about these
me
things. You know,
and Joey both need to like think about how we essentially need to like not drink or have any drugs or anything like that. And like it's kind of
that's how
annoying
trying to
for like
conceive is too.
yeah,
you know?
and for like Chicago summer, it's like kind of annoying because it affects you socially, and so it's just a whole. And I feel very similarly about like when you're trying to do something like a gut cleanse or like an anti-inflammatory diet. Or like conceiving or getting pregnant. It's the same kind of thing where like you can't socialize in the same way because you're not able to drink or eat the same things that everyone else is able
It's
to eat.
restrictive.
It's
Yeah.
very restrictive.
You have to figure out how to have fun in different ways.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a whole different system. But yeah, that's something that like it's actually funny because maybe this is the only time where this happens where the man has to do more than the woman in terms of like before the process begins, Joey has to be completely sober for like the next 2.5 months. Whereas
Wow.
I know.
Weed, alcohol, anything?
Weed, alcohol, everything. Like we
And
don't
also,
know
like,
about
if you're on like certain medications too. My husband's actually, he was sober during conception because it does help. And
Yeah.
then he's been sober for most of pregnancy too.
Oh, that's nice.
Which I think is like great and maybe should be the norm.
I
you
know.
So
Well, that's the thing. It's
we're
like
also very sober people. Like I was
Yeah.
pretty sober to begin with.
I was
so.
telling. Oh, you're sober all the time.
Pretty sober. Yeah.
I think
Sober
I'm gonna be
curious
like
is
you
different.
eventually. I'm gonna be sober curious.
I feel
but
better. I just feel better. Like at the
Yeah.
end of the day, like maybe it's me getting older, you know. But you just like it doesn't. Especially being an entrepreneur, like I need to be on it, you know.
Yeah. No,
That's
Joey,
really exciting though. Congrats.
Thanks.
Yes.
Yeah, but
I
he's
feel like
in
people-
his journey now of having to be like completely sober.
Is
Whereas
that
I
already
don't have to start yet.
Yeah.
He had a drink yesterday.
I know with
Hannah's like these embryos are.
yeah, these embryos are gonna be screwed. You can like have alcohol here and there, but
Okay.
like weed, you cannot have
Okay.
any.
Well,
sort
that's
of
a whole thing.
And I
drug.
feel like you guys like, not to be like, you guys love weed, but like you, but
Joey
you
would
and
like
Joey
it to relax.
Yeah,
Like-
you guys like that's like a part of your routine is like when you guys are having a night in, like you like to take an edible, watch a movie, order food, where it's like
Yeah.
taking that out of the picture. I
Well,
think.
so weed is a whole thing with pregnancy. I'm reading a book that's like by this woman Emily Oster, she's a statistician. Not you know.
my
what I'm
sister
talking-
is obsessed
But
with Emily Oster.
She is not a doctor, so there's a little bit of like she's giving you the stats, but she's not a doctor, so keep that in
Yeah,
mind.
yeah.
But literally in the book, which was like the latest update was like a few years ago, and I think it was written like 10 to 15 years ago, it literally says like if you are so morning sick, like if you have so much nausea in pregnancy, you should think about maybe smoking weed to help that. And it's like, or it's like you should talk to your doctor about it. And it's
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, this is literally awful advice. Like we don't know. Apparently, it's actually a thing right now where a lot of pregnant people are smoking weed, not realizing how bad it is. Because no, my doctor.
I'm so surprised that Emily Oster is saying that.
Well, that's why I'm saying it's in the book. You read the book. It's like
Okay.
talk to your doctor about it because if you literally cannot eat anything, like it might be worth the risk. But it's
Yeah.
also like this was written a few years ago, originally written 10 years ago. Like we don't even know the research on weed and like pregnancy and stuff, but it is not looking good. Like it's not looking good.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you should abstain. And it's crazy though, because it's not like in the rigmarole of like, make sure you don't do this, make sure you don't do this.
Right.
Like,
No fish or like uncooked fish or
and so
don't
it's like
smoke
people don't
cigarettes
know,
or blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
especially in like communities where they have less access to all that information. And so that's actually like a big thing right now too, now that weed is like legalized.
Well,
Yeah.
it's also like, this is another thing that I feel like people don't talk about, especially for men, because it's like, you know, there's this attitude that men just like don't really need to do anything. And
Right.
but like apparently weed affects your morphology in your semen.
Yeah, it does.
So
Yeah.
like
What's a morphology?
Okay, Shelby, please look it up. But morphology is
I
like
acted like I knew what that meant. But I was like, weed is
yes,
but
morphology.
it's bad for conception. It's bad
it's
for
like,
conception.
I think it's
how
like
it
the
swims,
quality.
right? Yeah. Size
and shape
but
of
not how
your
it swims.
semen and like the
of
quality
like
of
the
it.
actual tiny little sperms.
Yeah, the size and shape of the
And
sperm.
does weed make them smaller and less?
It
less
makes
good at swimming.
I guess like I guess
get distracted?
It lessens. Yeah, they get distracted. They're too high to get to the egg. That would be a great short
That's a
film.
good analogy. You know,
It's like, hey man, I think I'm not ready to go in the egg quite yet.
but it's like also
I'm gonna swim over here for a sec. I
it's your
like these
body
ovaries.
telling you like maybe you. I think there's like an amount of like, you know, you need to be able to take the risk of not smoking or drinking for a few months for you to be maybe ready to have a kid.
Totally.
You know?
I mean, that's like a really fair point. Or it's just like, I don't know. Yeah. I have like a lot of friends, like all different levels of like how much they want to party, but like 9 months of like no alcohol,
Yeah.
no weed.
It's
like,
hard for people.
Like the last time a lot of my friends have done that is before we could drink.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I can't remember the last time I've been sober for that long. Like,
Right?
And it sounds kind of scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
But it's also like 9 months. I've heard the 9 months. Like I used to be like, oh my God, these 9 months suck, plus conception time.
Yeah.
But like I read a book that was way more positive and all of this stuff. And it was like, you know, the 9 months, like it is a training ground. Like you shouldn't just pop out a baby tomorrow. Like
Yeah.
you should dedicate 9 months to just being as healthy as you can, being patient,
Yeah.
being loving to your body, like allowing it to grow in new, different ways to prep yourself for parenthood. Because if you're
Yeah.
not going to be ready for a child running around, like the 9 months is supposed to give you time to prep for that, you know?
Also, I'm sure for some people who haven't had to be like sober or
Yeah.
like having to sit with thoughts, I'm sure is
Oh,
like
yeah.
really scary. While
And hormones are also,
and
like,
the hormones.
Yeah.
Wait, I want to
time.
also, just because I feel like this would be kind of a cool thing for our listeners to follow. Is there anything else like you have to do, or what are you? How are you feeling?
Have
about
you
just
not
the process?
mentioned this on the pod before?
No.
This is the big pregnancy episode.
I guess
Yes.
because I am a Scorpio and I feel like weirdly like, I don't know, private about like my body. But I think for me, I have a lot of I don't want to say PTSD, but it's like I just have so much trauma with going to the doctor and medicine.
Wow.
Like because I don't
they
know.
load you up,
I don't know
too,
how
right?
much you know about like my whole history, but like basically once I got COVID, I lost all my hair.
Okay, wow.
And I had already had alopecia, but I'd get it in just like tiny spots. But then once I got COVID and then the COVID vaccine, like I just stopped growing hair completely
Oh my
all over
God.
my body. And it was like, after that, I tried like a new medication that was like an immunosuppressant to see if I could grow hair. And then like I was trying these shots called Dupixent where I had to like stab myself in the thigh.
Oh my God.
Like and like push it in myself. And it was like so many different medications and so many side effects.
Yeah.
And then I was having
No
these.
wonder your body's holding all this trauma.
Girl.
Well, also pregnancy, it's like hair and pregnancy is like I lost
It's
my
a whole
arm
thing.
hair, which
Oh.
is like, I know, you don't hear that one.
Oh,
I was just talking to my
interesting.
dermatologist
Yeah.
and she was saying how she feels excited for me to get pregnant because I guess
Your hair might grow back
a lot of
also.
people,
Yeah.
their hair grows back when they get pregnant.
Yeah.
When they have alopecia.
It
For a lot of other
changes.
people,
It changes,
they lose it, yeah.
because your body's not as focused on, because an autoimmune disease is when your body fights itself. So I guess because you're growing a baby, it's your body's switching focus.
That's cool.
Interesting.
Even the drugs you take for IVF might like kickstart
Maybe,
something.
but
yeah.
I've also taken like hormone drugs. I've done these different things. So I feel really apprehensive about
Yeah.
starting this process of getting shots like every other day and having my hormones change because
Yeah.
I've done all of this stuff in the last year to try to regulate myself and regulate my hormones and do all this healing. And so, yeah, I think I feel nervous, but also interested to see what happens.
Yeah, I actually think in like from my hippy dippy side, it's kind of almost like full circle opportunity for you. You know,
You think?
Yeah, I think like you're facing your fears.
Big time.
Yeah, and I think that's a beautiful thing.
Thanks. Yeah.
And it's
you're
like-
gonna make it through.
I'm
Yeah.
totally, I mean, I
You're
know
gonna do
this
it.
for sure that I'm resilient
Yeah.
Yes.
post all of this. So
Totally.
like now, after losing all my hair, which was kind of one of my worst fears for
Yeah,
like my
it's
whole life,
scary.
I think I can face anything.
Yeah.
So
You can face a 45-second plank.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think actually it's a really cool opportunity for like full circle. Like I do think that's a beautiful chapter for you.
aw.
I think like July will be
Thanks.
actually like really transformational in that
I
way.
feel like already, because after me and Hannah finished main stage, I've just been diving into doing whatever I can to like be present in my body,
Good.
go to a somatic breathwork healer, going, to acupuncture, going to all these
not
different
staying
things.
up till like midnight every single night.
yeah.
Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I've
I
been
can't believe how
addicted to going to bed at 10.
Yeah.
Like,
I can't believe the like lifestyle changes you all have had.
everyone
you know?
has been making fun of me about how I love an early bedtime, but it's almost like overcompensating after
Yeah,
main stage
totally.
because we weren't allowed to go to bed early.
Yeah.
So I like literally when
Your
I get
body
into
wants
bed, I'm
it.
like,
It's probably really good for the stage you're into. So, do you know like you're just can I ask why you're freezing your eggs? Your career.
yeah. So I feel like I think Joey would be ready to have kids in like a year.
The men always are.
The men always are.
They're always the Jewish men too.
You
Always
think?
Are.
Yes.
I also want to hear. We need to also talk about our husbands knowing
Our
each
husbands
other.
grew up together.
I know. So
Also, I'm like, you guys
so
need to, you
Jewish.
have to go on a double date.
I know. This is like the most Jewish thing.
Yeah.
So wait, what was I just saying? So Joey, I think would be ready to do it sooner than me, but I feel like I'm not quite ready. There's just more I want to do in my career.
Well, it
before-
impacts us so much more. You know,
Yeah.
like, we
Right.
have to think about these things.
And
you know,
and I also again am not quite ready for the bodily change because my body's gone through so many sort of adolescences of all these different changes and me getting used to it. So I'm not quite ready to be pregnant.
Yeah.
But I think so we're gonna freeze embryos and
Yeah.
then hopefully like in 2 years we'll see
Just
if
buy
I'm
some
ready to
time.
go. Yeah.
I will also say that like being pregnant and for me being pregnant and even the thought of giving birth is way less scary now that I'm pregnant. Like I think there's something
Okay.
about
That's
like
awesome.
once you're there, you're like, here I am. Like
Yeah.
I'd rather
There's no
that than
turning
the
back.
alternative. Yeah. So
Yeah.
like I do think that's something. Yeah, and there's also like there's never a right time. I do think like I had as right of a time as I could. Like again, like
Yeah.
I started a business. It's like 2 years off the ground. Like my husband has
Yeah.
a stable job. Like we have a 3-bedroom. That's like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, totally.
Because there are people who also like, oh, I like literally. I mean, and there's also people who don't plan it and it happens and they figure it out.
Okay, so let's talk about this. That your husband Tyler went to high school with my husband Joey,
And we
Yeah.
just learned this.
And we just learned this.
How
did you figure it
How
out?
I figured this out. This is a callback to. I was doing my homework, looking at your episodes, and I was like, Jordy, why do I know that name? Because
so
because
interesting.
one of my husband's best friends, his brother was the drummer for him when he toured. And
Okay,
he's like,
Eric.
Yeah, Eric Dorr. Yeah,
Yes.
Eric Dorr. Shout out to you.
Eric,
you know?
yeah, I've met
Such a
Eric.
sweetheart,
Such a
sweetheart.
cutie.
And he is in a band. He deserves all the success. So go,
I think he just got married like
he did
a year
at
ago.
a bar. And the wife is so sweet.
Did you
Yeah.
guys go to that wedding?
No, but I know we know them. You know,
This is so Jewish, back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're sweet though. Yeah. But what was it? So I remember like when I don't know if he toured with him or support, I forget the details, but I was like, oh, another Northbrook artist. And then on the podcast, you're like, oh yeah, they're like friends or it was like your husband's brother or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So that's like how, and then I was like, wait a minute.
Jordy was on the podcast.
I know, that's what I saw. And then I was like, wait a minute, there's clearly a Northbrook connection here. And everyone knows each other in Northbrook. So, and my husband's family also had this like pizza restaurant there. So my husband's family has had like a local business in our neighborhood in Logan Square for like literally 70 years. So that's also kind of
Wow.
like our connection to that and connection
What's
to
the business again?
It was called Marcello's Father and Son.
Marcello's.
It's like I was actually wondering if we were going to talk today about like, have you seen all the private equity and like small business? No, have you not seen any of this?
No.
And it's Jewish because there's a bagel private equity boom happening in Chicago where all these like big bagel companies are coming in.
Yeah, like the one, my mother's daughter or something.
Call Your Mother, which
Call Your Mother.
I'm from DC. I've actually known about it since it was not a big company, like, and it grew. This is a whole other conversation we don't need to dig into, but it's funny because apparently there's like, you know, taco spots that open and close, and they're like owned by not Hispanic people,
right?
And they like just pick like fake like Hispanic names. Well, it's funny,
not the AI generated.
Well, I know
taco stand.
Well, my husband's family, his grandfather's name was Marshall, who opened this thing, and it's funny though because he just like, what's the Italian version of Marshall? And it was like Marcello.
That's so
But
funny.
it's like American Italian.
Yeah.
Like they're not fooling anyone. It's like pizza, you know?
yeah.
It's
Right.
like not like literally like I think they had ribs on the menu. Like it's like they're
And
not
there's tons of
fooling
pizza
anyone.
places that aren't, you know.
No, it's
And I mean,
Italian owned.
clearly successful enough to be open
Yeah,
for
they did
70
well.
years.
They did well. Yeah, I mean, they also. I'm like literally like ratting out my husband's business. I'm like the Mayor Daley told the stories like Mayor Daley like told his grandfather like this Cabrini, you know where Cabrini Green is. They're like, oh yeah, he was like, you should invest in some property down here. And then like the next year they tore it all down and they bought land there and built a restaurant there, and then it like ended up being super gentrified over the next like 50
Whoa.
years. Yeah,
That's so interesting.
it's like Chicago, baby. You know, like it's who you know. So yeah,
Joey's grandpa, their family had a delicatessen in Logan Square
God.
called Schulman's.
wait, what?
Yeah, and it was also there for like 50
I'm like,
years
where
or something.
was it in Logan?
What if you
It
found
was
out that
across the
their,
street
like,
from the
communities
Logan
were, like,
movie theater.
competing,
Oh
like,
my God.
competing entities.
Wait, what
They hated
address?
each other.
Our
Is it where
families are
Fourth
Romeo
is?
and Juliet.
Yeah, Romeo and Juliet families.
Wait, is it where Fourth is? Like, what was the
It
address
was like
of it?
literally like
Wait, you
right by
should
where
find-
Fourth was.
Well,
Because
we'll have to get Joey on here.
me and
next-
Joey,
Yeah.
we'll have Joey come and comment.
Yeah.
'cause
Joey?
Me and Joey were walking to meet Hannah and Carrie at Central Park Bar last night, and I was like, "This is where the Fourth Hot Studio is," and he was like, "Wow, that's crazy. This is like right where
'cause
Saba
that's-
had his delicatessen."
The cellar door provisions, if you know
Yes.
that, that's where the original Marcello's father and son was.
Really?
And then they moved. They actually had a factory on this is like totally we're just talking about our husbands,
I know.
like old school Chicago businesses, but they actually had a factory on Milwaukee Avenue, like back when it was like a suburb, and it was like where now Federalis is. So they had that whole lot. Yeah, so that was like a big reason we moved to Logan and
That's
got
like
an
the sign of
apartment there.
gentrification is a federalis.
I know.
Well, when they
Truly.
sold it, they didn't know it was Federalis. It was like the
Yeah.
holding company.
Yeah.
And it was also COVID, and they didn't know. They actually originally wanted to do like a pizza concept because they also own like Renali's, I want to say. Like one of them. So they kind of thought that would be and then it ended up being a Federalis.
Yeah.
So here we are.
Interesting.
And then they literally, the parking lot on one side ended up being the whole apartment building.
Yeah,
Wow,
I
that's
also
crazy.
think it's so funny because anytime Tyler takes a class that Eleanor is teaching, Eleanor is like
Tyler.
roasting the fuck out of Tyler. Eleanor will be like, "Come on, Tyler, keep going," or one day it was like, the other day Tyler was in class and I looked over and his form was just like awful. And so I was just like, Tyler, like you need to fix your form. So everyone think about Tyler and how your form doesn't want to be like Tyler.
It's fine. He's like my co-founder.
Yeah.
So I think he gets a little
Oh,
roasted.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's I feel like Tyler, it's like if you can't get a hold of like Eleanor or Alan,
you're
it's like call
supposed to tell
Tyler.
her. Well, honestly,
Yeah.
also I don't answer my phone, and
Yeah.
so as Hannah knows, and so
I
also,
feel like I'm a part of every emergency.
Tyler, fortunately you're not. Tyler does answer his phone. He's like one of those people. So I'm like, great. So
That's how Joey is too.
I'm
Good
like,
phone
great.
answerer.
For me, it ruins my mental health, and I can't do that. But he will always answer his phone. So that's why I'm also like, if you call
Yes.
Tyler, he'll find me.
Totally.
So
Okay,
Yeah.
let's keep
Yes.
moving.
What are you contemplating right now?
So I'm obviously pregnant. I just opened like 2 studios, and just like really, I think I've had a lot of stages in my life where there's been a lot of planning and controlling, and like really settling into like I have no clue what this next phase of my life looks like, and just like contemplating like what is next, and like especially with having a kid, like we heard everyone else is touring daycares, so we're like, oh my god, we need to tour daycares now. And then I was just like, wow, this is so expensive to watch a toddler, like a literally 6-month-old, just sleep all day, and I'm literally paying them how much money for that?
Right.
Yeah.
And to get sick all the time. And it's just like things like we're trying to figure out, like, we have no clue what next year is going to be. I mean, like, does my husband, like, what, we're figuring out his paternity, like, when do you even start paternity leave? Like, there's a lot of like things we have to think about now in this next chapter of like, I have a flexible work schedule. My husband can have some flexibility of like a little bit of work remote, a little bit of back in person. Like, what does this, do I go back to teaching at all? Do I teach a little bit? Do I like, there's a lot that is really up in the air because I don't have a like standard job right now, and how bringing a child in and like all the different options of that. So that's a lot of stuff we're doing a lot of research on right now.
It sounds, just like America, the whole system is so like, doesn't
It's nuts.
support people having kids, just like generally speaking.
Right.
And then, I mean, all of my friends who are moms are like, okay, you can pay for daycare. A lot of my friends, it's important for them to keep their jobs and to be like, to keep working. But then sometimes, say you're like a school teacher and you're making X amount, it could literally be like you are being a school teacher to pay for your kid to go to daycare, and that's like almost your entire paycheck. So then it's like, well, do I just stay home with them until they go to school? But then a lot of people don't want to give that up. They don't want to give up their careers.
Right.
But then it's like, if I'm spending all this time getting money to then just, there's
no right answer.
There's no right answer.
And it's really hard. And also what's kind of nuts about this generation is like, versus our parents' generation, is like, you just had more, like, my mom straight up was like, oh, I just like quit my job when I got pregnant.
Same with
and
my
that's
mom.
like not abnormal. Obviously,
Yeah.
like, I'm privileged that I had like a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
But that was like way more normal versus now,
Definitely.
like, I don't have any friends that are stay-at-home moms. It's all
Yeah.
like, no, I give birth and I get back to the job, and maybe
Right.
they give me 3 months, and oh my gosh, it's criminal. Like, the dads get like 3 weeks. It's literally scary. And my husband luckily gets like 12 weeks, which we're thankful about. We think we gotta like finish up all that stuff. But it is unfortunate, and it's gonna be a very different generation we're raising because of that,
Yeah.
And I'm also a citizen. I like reclaim my family citizenship in Germany, and it's like just night and day there. It's like
So different.
A nice preschool is like $100 a month versus here
Wow.
it's like $3,000, maybe even more.
And how like,
You're basically
in-
paying rent for a kid.
in
Yeah, you
Scandinavian countries, how like you get a year of
PTO.
maternity and paternity leave.
Yeah,
And it's like,
and it's like they flip flop. Like, like I worked with a lot of European people when I was at Accenture, and it was like, oh, they're gone for like a year
Yeah.
when they give birth.
Well, also like, and I don't know the numbers on this, but the birth rate is going down rapidly in the United States.
and other countries too.
Yeah. And it's because these like economies aren't set up to support.
We're in a recession.
having kids. Yeah. And when in the past, I feel like it would be like, well, we just have to struggle then because we're going to have kids. And people are, I think for the first time in history, being like, well, then I'm not going to have a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I think about myself. Yes, I don't like have a partner, but I think about just say I met someone and they really wanted to have a kid. I have done no preparation for even thinking about having a kid. And I would never have a kid if I just, in my head, I've always been like, I want to be able to support my kids and feel really comfortable monetarily if I have kids, and be supported in a place where I can get support and get help. I like, it wouldn't be worth it to me if I was like,
It's a
poor.
huge lifestyle.
Yes.
Like, it's a huge sacrifice. It's
It
a
is.
huge sacrifice now to have a kid.
and like, not to make it political, but that's also why I'm like, people who are pro-life, like, should also then, if you're going to be pro-life, then you should also help people raise those babies and give them money.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're screwing over so many people who are marginalized most often, and then are having to bring children into the world with no support at all.
It's scary. It's really scary. Yeah. I'm like, Yeah, that's what I'm.
I told Eleanor she should bring the baby to Fourth and just have the SEMs watch the kid.
No, we are no kids. Like,
Bring it down to the basement.
God forbid there's like an emergency and I show up with the baby, but
Yeah.
it's like I really like want to have like there's some studios where people bring dogs and stuff. And
Yes.
once you let one thing in, then it gets the lid.
Totally.
You
If
know,
Eleanor gets to bring her baby, I
7
want to bring
dogs
my
are running
baby.
around and it's like
8
all
babies
right.
hanging out.
Yeah, I know. Well, and I'm what a lot of people have told me actually, which is funny because I'm like also contemplating like, do I just stay managing Fourth? Do I come back to teach? Do I start another business? Like, you know, like, oh, I'm pretty decent at this. 1 out of 1, like good success rate.
Would
so
you
far.
ever open a third location at Fourth?
I'm like so not interested in that. I'm so not interested in that. Period. Like, period. Right now, like it's just so many universe things have been like, you're good. You're good. I like having also like a business in my own neighborhood and like something
Totally,
weird about.
yeah.
I don't know if Fourth would resonate in other neighborhoods too. 'Cause
That's a
it's
good point.
Too, like crunchy granola.
We are. We're very Avondale, Logan.
Yeah,
coded.
and I love that it's like, this is my community. This is my
Yes,
thing. It's
totally.
also like the private equity thing. It's like, well, if I wanted to expand, I wouldn't just like save up all my money and open up another studio. Like I'd probably take in external investors, and
Yeah.
I don't really want to do that. So,
Totally.
that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
But I'm like, people are like, several people have told me the second you have a kid, you're gonna get all these new business ideas, like for like, because it's an industry, you know. And so I'm like, but I'm also at the
Fourth
same time.
daycare.
Honestly,
I know,
I
right?
joked about that, and people are like, "That actually sounds."
I'm like,
studios have a next door Fourth daycare.
Is it's like if Fourth made a daycare, it probably would be full of cool families
probably
with
be
cool
cool.
kids.
Very
who have,
cool.
And you just teach them yoga all day.
Yes.
And the babies, they have to have prompts at the beginning.
I know. My siblings, like a teacher, and they're like kind of figuring out where they move. Their girlfriends in law school, and it's just a tough time to be a lawyer right now because like
sounds
all
like-
the law firms were either bribed by Trump or
have
they're not
also
and not
heard
doing
this.
well, and it's just like
Like
rough.
Trump has
So-
been like blacklisting
yeah, it's been bad.
lawyers.
And AI also
Yeah.
in law, like people aren't going to lawyers as much, but so they're trying to figure out what to do, and yeah, I might come to Chicago and open up Fourth Daycare because they have all these teaching credentials. Like I do not, you know. Then I tour these daycares and I'm like, okay, what credentials do people have? And they're like, well, then one teacher has this, but then everyone else we kind of just like figured it out and trained, and I'm like, paying $3,000 a month for this.
I
you
know.
Right.
For this?
For like, yeah. So, yeah, anyways, that's a whole
Apparently
other
you get a
thing.
surge of creativity when you're pregnant. So, or I mean, after you
Really?
give birth. Yeah.
After I was like, I don't feel it when I'm pregnant, but I was just thinking, I was like, I need to like tap into more creativity, like on a daily basis, just in general. Like it's a muscle for me.
Yeah.
Like try to keep it active. Yeah, I'm excited for post pregnancy, like whatever, just having more energy, honestly.
Yeah.
At the end of the day too. So,
Totally. Okay, should we move on to curious?
Yeah. What are you curious about?
I'm, something I'm really curious about is like, especially with all these transitions, like I really am focusing on like, how can I be a better boss and leader? Like my role at Fourth, I know you've been with us for maybe a year now, less than that.
Like 9 months.
It's like a very
Right?
different business now than even when you first joined,
Yeah.
and let alone like when Aaron was hired
Right.
on, and like when we first opened Fourth, I was at the front desk like pretty much every shift. I did every single thing by myself, like on the back end, except teaching.
Yeah.
And I taught a lot. And even with that, I would teach like 10 classes a week.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we only had like 20, 30 classes on the schedule.
Yeah.
And so Fourth is just like such a different business now than it was back then. And I have a lot more support. We have like over 30 employees now and like a full-time manager, which is like, I'm so blessed and like thankful. And I thank the universe for this every single day. But it's like, my job is different now and I should be acting like it, and like, how can I be a better boss? This thing I've been really like trying to think about, and even just like training my team in ways,
Yeah.
and even like being a little bit more hands off intentionally of being like, how can we get to the same outcome without me like delegating, telling everyone,
Yeah.
micromanage, so that's something I'm consciously curious about and researching about, and maybe I flipped curious and contemplating.
That's
but
okay.
We're
It's kind
just
of the
like
same
that's
thing.
yeah. I'm like should have gotten definitions from you all, but we're just rocking it. But yeah, that's the thing I'm really curious about right now, and that's why I'm spending a lot of my time like looking into.
Yeah.
And just like being, especially like stepping away from teaching, because I think a lot of like I probably get some clout of like, I teach sold out Pilates classes every week.
Right.
And that makes me a great boss. And that's like not actually doesn't make you a great boss, you know?
Well, it's interesting. I have a lot to say about this. So
Totally though. I have like credentials, you know,
Yeah,
like
well,
it's very different now than it was back then.
I think I'm sure it was like, okay, when you're starting this business, you have to have your hand in every single pot. You have to like build all this. But now it is sort of this like release of where you're like, I have built this team of people that I trust. I've built that. We've kind of talked about how it's like now both studios are like running themselves. Obviously, I'm sure there's like moments where you're like, oh fuck, I need to.
And my job's also to make sure you don't realize those moments happen.
Right, which you do a good job at. You know what I mean? But I feel like going from working at like Second City, and yes, like I'm sure it would be different if I was like working full time at Fourth. Like every time I work at Fourth, you know, I'm working 10, 15 hours a week. And every time I go in, I'm excited to go in. It's like, I'm not dreading it. It whatever. So who knows if I worked longer, I would have more opinions on this. But like, I just have I've always felt like at Fourth, you guys actually care about me and care about your employees. You care about the people who go there, as opposed to Second City, where it's just like where I'm putting all my time and energy and feeling like I am so disposable. And that like, I don't know, it's like you guys hire people you feel confident in, and then you always give them like the benefit of the doubt, I feel like. Does that make sense?
One of our core values, oh my God, I don't know, in my pregnancy brain.
Amazing that you have core values.
We have 4 core values.
Yes.
I actually made like a mission statement, core values, principles, like back in 2023. And they all like stay the same. But
That's amazing.
Yeah. Abundance mindset is like one of it, is part of it all somewhere in there. And at the beginning of every meeting with my manager, like every week, and then also when we have team meetings, we go through all of them. Like they're at the beginning of the handbook and everything.
We all take, anytime there's like a employee meeting, we all take like an intentional breath together. We read through the mission statement, do it. And it's like, while those things I'm sure can feel repetitive when you do them, it does like set a tone of being like,
I'm glad.
You know,
that's the point.
Even taking a collective breath brings you to the mission statement.
Yeah, it does. And so like, but like abundance mindset, like I really, and that's hard for me. Like trust is really hard, especially as saying you've dumped so much time and energy and money, and you're literally, this is my livelihood. Like, but it's also a lot of my teachers, like part of their livelihoods as well. And like so like it's like a balance of like trust and being able to be like, okay, I trust my team, and honestly, it's okay to like fudge up here and there. Yeah, and that's how you learn. But at the same time, like, I don't want this business to go down, you know?
Right. How do you like stay at the standard that you built for yourself?
And tweak and try to build more processes to prevent things from like being slipped through the cracks versus like punitive little tasks. Like you do this. It's like, no, let's like build a system that's to prevent this. And that's my consulting background speaking.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, in your consulting background, I think the thing that is really, really cool about everything you're saying is that the fact that you're curious about being a better boss, I think makes a good boss. Like,
thinking about that.
That is something that like, I don't think it happens very often in the world we work in, of like, what would be helpful in this way, and then actually following through with that.
It's hard. I mean, it's very like an inherently inward like conversation, and it's hard. And I've had good bosses and I've had bad bosses, and also I've had like bosses that are like chill and I enjoy working with them, but I don't grow. Yeah. And that's also different too. Yeah. And it's like, especially I think the task of being pregnant with the business is also like, I have a deadline where I need to be out. How do I get my baby business to be running itself? Like that's kind of, it's a really good challenge. Like this early in, like, and you know, obviously I think my husband's probably going to pop in and take a few classes here and there. I'm going to be anxious just to come back and move my body like as soon as I can. And we'll probably push the stroller by and wave at some point, make sure people are in the studio. But, and I'm sure we'll be checking metrics, but it's like, I really want to challenge myself to like fully step out for a period of time. And I think that's just a really healthy challenge, and you have to build trust into your system and hire people that speak to your values on their own accord without like you just breathing down their neck all the time. So.
I also think like because I love Fourth and now I'm like, love going to class there and I like love the people who go there. It makes me want to do a good job.
Thanks. That's great to hear. I hope so.
When I'm like, like even in just like the remedial of like cleaning afterwards, I'm like, oh, well, I want Fourth to like look good whenever people get here because I want people to be happy because I'm happy here and I want them to be like this. I mean, it's obvious because I just keep making all my friends go here. But I'm like,
you're like, all my friends are showing up. So.
Well, it's also too like I know I'm getting paid for it, but that's not even really the reason that I'm working at Fourth. And it's like, it feels like I'm giving to my community working at Fourth.
I appreciate that.
You know what I mean?
Well, I also think too, we really try not, we've had like SEM, studio experience managers, like folks who work at the front desk. We've had like different models where they've worked like a lot, they worked a little. And like generally speaking, what we found for SEMs is like the most happiest the SEMs are is when it's their fun job, and like they want this to be like, I'm here for 2 hours because I'm remote or I'm in a stressful job. And it's like, we don't want to burn you out. I mean, we have a ton of you because we have so many shifts to staff.
But clearly it's like, like Alan is the manager is always checking in like every couple months being like, hey, is your schedule good? Like, what's your perfect schedule? What's like all of these things? We don't want to burn you out.
We want you to be happy because you'll do your job better.
And that's the thing.
Employers are forgetting that.
I'm like, they did not care if we were happy. They cared about putting out a product.
And it burns you out, you know?
And
so that's
the burnout was the biggest thing.
Yeah. So that's like kind of what we found with that. And then like same with the teachers too. Like, I don't want to, it's the wellness industry. Like we want you to like, you're not gonna be able to hold space for people to like go through such like impactful experiences if not for that. And something also too with it that I wanted to share was like, it's interesting team members who I've brought on, like especially teachers in like the past like 6 months versus like original teachers, like talk to me differently too. Cause I'm so much more removed. And it's like, they're way more like appreciative to be there and to be a part of it because it's so much bigger than us now. Versus like my teachers who helped build it, who I'm so thankful for. I don't hear that gratitude from on a daily basis because they grew it, And like, I don't expect that. And not that I expect it from anyone. But it is really interesting because it really demonstrates like the changes in the business and how like when we bring people on now, it's like a very different like relationship even,
Well, I just talking to like newer teachers, it sounds like just like any industry, there can be toxic places to work and people who are going to.
That's a whole other rabbit hole.
Yes. Of like it sounds like they come to Fourth and they teach a class at Fourth and they're like, I'd like to teach a lot of classes at Fourth because I've been taken advantage of in other situations.
You're independent contractors versus employees, which is first off illegal. But second off, you don't get any benefits. And it's just like, I don't know. I've had a lot of bad situations personally. And that's also was a big reason where I was like, I want to like actually show that you can have a sustainable business model and pay your teachers
care of your
what
people.
they should get
That's
paid.
amazing.
Crazy idea. Pay taxes on your teachers, and so you're not making them pay double taxes.
Wow, that's incredible.
Crazy, but we did it.
When I was going to when I'd walk in, the people at the front desk like could not give less of a shit that I was coming in. And I was a new student. Like they could have easily been like,
Anna would have been trying to sell you a membership.
Right. Like
I like
you would
selling.
Think you should look into a career in sales, honestly.
No, Anna would be a really good salesperson.
I am good at sales, but I have to believe in the product.
That's the thing.
Yes.
Like even on this podcast, like I feel like a lot of, because that's what we're going into next is ourselves. But Hannah has convinced, like when I first met Hannah, I wanted every single thing that was in her life because she makes it sound so good. Like, and because it is good and it is good and it is a good life improvement, but like literally
I'm not gonna lie about what I like.
But it was so nice because I was like, oh my God, Hannah loves this. I gotta do it. Like you're
she sold all of your friends onto this. I'm like literally Second City's like moving into Fourth. So.
When we were all like in the changing area after the hot class today, Alan walked in and was like, oh look, it's a room full of actors.
That's also the case too.
Yeah,
I mean half our team are actors too. That's like such a
and just like a lot of people who go to Fourth. It just a lot of
like it's common to
a
like
lot of creative
and be an actor.
Yeah, I love like honestly our pricing is too good right now. Like we
It
will be
is.
like raising it in a few
Oh,
months.
no.
Yeah.
Well,
we will
if
be
you lock
raising our
in.
memberships in a
So if you get a membership, here's my sales.
Yeah.
If you get a membership now, you'll be locked into that rate forever.
Okay, so Hannah,
Is
we're
that
not going to
changing?
use the term
Okay.
locked in forever because
Okay.
10 years from now I might change my mind.
Right.
10
it's
years
not
from
in
now
perpetuity.
when we're all
I just
paying
went through this.
$30,000 a month for rent
Right.
and
But
you're paying,
you'll be locked in for a while.
you'll be locked in for a while. I'll
So
say
come
that
now
confidently.
sooner than later.
I don't
Alright,
want
fine.
to ever increase someone's locked in like rates unless
Yeah.
we like truly waitlists are like awful and we need to weed people out. Like
Yeah.
that's like the reality of the business. So I know there are some studios that like you're locked in forever. There are some studios where like they raise members like every year.
Yeah.
What the language is now is you will always have a better deal than what's on the market.
Nice.
We'll always honor that. But we are raising our rates September 1st because we are busy and
Yeah.
it's
Word's
next
getting
winter is
out.
going to be
Word's
bad.
getting
Next
out.
winter is going to be bad if we
Next
don't.
winter with this hot studio, people
know.
are going to be.
I know.
Yeah, it's already we already
Oh,
have wait lists now and it's like dry season. Basically.
I
So-
want a hot studio class that's like at 9.
AM.
Yeah.
We'll probably play around more with that next
Yeah.
year. Right now, middays, little in the hot studios. Like this is the hot studios like least popular time, but probably next winter we'll play around with that stuff. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Figured I'd put in my
Midday's
2
but
cents.
we do. But our current pricing, it's nice because we do have people who are like servers next to people who work at Google, and that's what I also
Literally.
love.
Yeah.
you
So
know?
cool.
It's nice. It's
Also,
really
speaking of
refreshing.
Accenture, did you ever go to like the Accenture events that were at Flight Club, the darts
I think
bar?
I went once or twice
because I
Where are we going with this?
I used to work at Flight Club as like a games master where I would teach everyone the
Game
darts.
master.
But I felt like there was an Accenture event that I would have to like host.
No, I did
like,
go for something.
twice a week. Like
Yeah.
it was crazy. I got to know people at Accenture because I'd have to be like, "Welcome back, Accenture." So we know the
my
rules.
God.
Here's how it
We
goes.
know the
And I would
rules.
like teach everyone all the
Well,
games.
this also was like the day and age where like they like had happy hours and money for happy hours, like such a different corporate world than where we live right. I'm so glad I'm not in I left the corporate world in 2024. No, 2024, a month before Fourth opened. And like, oh my God, bullet dodged. Like, it's just been like downhill since then. You
It
know?
sounds bleak out there.
It sounds really, I mean, my friend's still at Accenture. It sounds rough, you know?
Oof.
It's kind of just like
It's
you're
like-
locked in wherever you were at.
And it's like even like working at Second City after they got bought by private equity and what continues
Oh,
to
they're
happen.
private. That should be a whole conversation on this because that's a
Yeah.
whole thing right now.
It,
you know,
like deeply changed.
It deeply, all
yeah.
of the like
well, Solidcore
tradition.
got bought by private equity.
Oh,
That's like a big reason I
interesting.
left.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. But like all the like tradition and like while some tradition is not always good, like all of the benefits of being a performer, just stuff that made you feel special, like a cast dinner or
Yeah.
like holiday parties, all of the things that like made Second City kind of like a more fun place to work, all gone.
Yeah.
All
This is also my hot
gone.
take though, is like work dinners are fun, but like if people are only happy because they have work dinners, then it's like you probably have a toxic work environment and they're just
Totally.
getting trashed.
Yeah.
And it's like, so I like also, it's like a little bit of like, you want to support, like we always give you all a holiday gift. Like,
Yes.
we want to give you some love, but at the same time, it's like, you don't want them to just like, especially at Fourth being a sober space too.
Yeah.
Like, there's something about even yoga spaces where it's like, okay, everyone's going to the bar after this class to be friends. And it's like, can you not be friends like in class? And I think that translates to like when I was at Accenture, it was like happy hour city. And in retrospect, like that did not work, especially traveling Monday through Friday. I was constantly under like not well rested, felt like garbage. And the one thing that regulated me was waking up early and getting a workout in.
Yeah.
Which is like how I ended up here right now. And I just feel like it's, you know, the reliance of the work happy hour is like a whole other thing to be examined.
Yeah.
Because did it actually make people happy, you know?
Right,
or did it kind of
totally.
just distract you from
well,
everything?
also there's
We're
this
gonna be here
whole,
for 4
oh my
more
God.
hours.
Well, we
I
have
do
like
have one more thing to say about this.
no, me too, me too.
30 minutes ago.
We have like this whole epidemic too of like how to make friends, especially in adulthood. And so
How
I
do
think
you make friends?
like
Yeah.
so often there's like an emphasis on alcohol or
Yeah.
like having to go out. So I think it's very cool
It's
how
a good chapter
with-
for you also right now too that you're exploring with like IVF where you have to be sober.
I
you
know.
Yeah.
But then like at Fourth, I just think it's very cool, like setting up a community and making friends where you're having to do it soberly.
And you already
Right.
have something in common. Well, you have several things in common. You live in the same neighborhood. You are already like spending your time at a workout place. Like odds are you already have like 7 other things in common.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
Yeah.
If you're in here and you like what Fourth's about, like It's really like, I like to think of it more as you're already finding what you already have in common. And like, we've had people come in and do the icebreaker and they find out they live in the same building and they're like best friends after that.
There are a lot of friendships, real friendships.
Yeah, it's
like,
nice.
Yeah. Okay, this was
Dates,
my last
love life.
thing.
Yeah.
This is my last thing that I'll say before we go to ourselves or ask.
You did not
So-
tell me I was selling something today. So
Oh, sorry. Did we
I'll
not?
figure it out.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Well,
I'm
you
ready.
can sell forth. I mean,
know.
you've kind of sold forth this entire
you did
time.
kind
I
of
don't know what
sell
else I
forth
would
for
say,
yourself.
but-
Something that's like in your
I'll let
life.
Hannah
The
sell
mill
for
grain,
me.
the grain mill thing too kind of counts as a sell. All
Right.
right.
But
Grain
so
mills.
like from
Grain mill.
going to, so say someone's listening to this and they feel like really stuck in their job. They're like doing this corporate or whatever that job may be. They feel stuck, but they don't know how to like have the courage to like bet on themselves. Like, cause what I've just like taken is like in all of these things, you have to just like take the risk. You had to like bet on yourself.
Okay, I've got thoughts before you get into that. I will say that several things in my life, like I was meant to do what I'm doing now. And that there are several points in my life where, for instance, when I got out of grad school, like I went to Northwestern, I went to Kellogg, I got like a 1-year business degree.
Joey went to
And
Northwestern for grad school also.
My wildcat, my kitty cat. And we, but basically I was like, I wanted to do this yoga teacher training in India because that's like what people did in 2016.
Yeah.
And but then I got an internship at Microsoft. And so I was like, no, I got to choose the career. And then right before COVID hit, I was going to do like it was so hard to do a teacher training during when I was at Accenture because I was flying everywhere and I didn't have a regular schedule. I was like, I'm going to take a month off, do a sabbatical, get a yoga teacher training finally. And then COVID hit and I'm like, I'm not paying for that. You know, like I'm not paying like $5,000 and taking a month off during COVID. Like that's stupid for a virtual training. And so I had and even like there was other times too where I was like trying to figure out how to make it work. And there's so many times where I chose my career over doing what really interested me. And the universe kept pulling me back. And eventually I did a partially virtual one while I still had my job at Accenture and was in COVID because I could actually like shut my computer off and be done with the client at 5:30, hop on a call at 5:35 for teacher training.
Yeah.
And it was like I started teaching and it was just like, I felt like,
You
right?
just knew it.
I knew it. Yeah. I knew it. And I also worked hard and I worked hard.
Yeah.
And I remember my sibling came to a class and was like, oh, it was like clear you're good at this, you
Yeah.
know? And like, it just felt right. And I loved it. And I loved it. And then I went and I would wake up at like 6 a.m. on Saturdays to prep. I would run through an hour sequence before teaching at 8 a.m. And I would do it for fun, you know, on top of a day job. And I taught at Solidcore. I'd teach up to 10 classes a week on top of a 9-to-5. Like I loved it. It energized me. And I did not quit my job to figure that out. Like I hustled but it felt good. Like it felt good. And I kind of think like there's, you know, the universe there's like 3 things. It's like, you know, for quitting your job and starting something new. It's like A, what you're good at and not, you know, what you're good at. And that's B, what there's demand for. Like, are people going to pay you for? Are you going to make, in this economy, you need money, you know, money's energy. And like, that's like, it's an exchange of services. But also like what fills you up? Like you don't want to feel drained from it too. Cause there's stuff that I love to do, but exhausts me. And it's like realistically, like I love where I'm at now because I love the teaching and I think I'm good at it. And I work hard at it and it fills me up, but I'm not doing it 40 hours a week. I also like a bit of the business stuff. Like I do like including some of that. Like I've always, when I worked at all these different yoga studios and at Solidcore, like I always was interested in the business model in a way other people weren't. So like for people who are interested in like, I feel stuck, follow what makes you feel energized, but also don't be stupid and like don't quit your job to open a business that you're and take a real look at your finances and be comfortable with risk. And I'll say like I'm way more comfortable with dumping lots of money now into a business than I was 5 years ago. I have a friend who has another yoga studio and she's like looking into other businesses right now, just like that she's always been curious in. And it's so funny with like patents and trademarks. I'm like so much more willing to dump $2,000 into a trademark than I was 5 years ago because that was like a lot of money and I was really scary. And now I'm like, it's a lot of money, but that's like the cost of doing business, you know? And so it's like wade into it and try to minimize your risk and be real. Or if you're married to someone or have a lot of money and you can just quit your job and it's not an issue, then go for it. You know, like
totally.
It's a very personal decision.
But also like being willing to work hard. Like I think sometimes people like quit and are like, all right, I like did the thing. I think the universe will take over. And it's like, no, you still gotta like fucking go for it.
I taught like 700 classes before I quit 700 movement classes before I quit my day job. Like I quit my day job a month before Fourth opened. Like, I figured it out.
That is so crazy.
I had a cushy job, but I had a cushy tech job back when those used to exist, but, and it was, and I learned from it, but, so that's, it's like, I'm not going to tell you just to quit your job and follow what you love because that's stupid. And you're going to like, in this economy,
Yeah, totally.
like, it's stupid, but
Yeah.
like, follow what you love in your 9 to 5. And if your 9 to 5 is truly like taking way more out of you that you don't have any time for that creativity, like, that's a whole other conversation.
This is like an annoying follow up, but also
We're
like
never gonna end this
I know.
episode.
This is a good. I think this is a good. This can be your sell if you want. 'Cause I think what you're saying like makes so much sense.
I have business coached before. That's another.
And I love that question, Hannah, that you asked. But the follow up is like, how do you figure out the thing that you're good at, or like how do you figure out a way
I've got
to
an
like
answer.
Okay,
Turn your phone off on a Saturday.
Oh
And
my
what
God,
do you want to
I
do?
know what your sell is. Sell being off Instagram.
Being off
that
it-
was
oh.
a huge thing.
Oh
This
my
was
God. We haven't
me
even talked about that.
I know.
Yeah.
Me talking about
I
getting
took
off
my
Instagram a couple months ago was because of
Are you
Eleanor.
still off or no?
No.
Okay. Well, we took the business off social media and it's only grown since then.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. And because you spend more, it's a whole other conversation. Go follow our newsletter. I'm about to send a newsletter on that next week, but which this episode probably won't be out by then. But just like turn your phone off and turn all electronics off Shabbat, for a day. And but honestly, I think we kind of forget how much it distracts us from what we actually enjoy in life. And like, what do you like to do? And like, do you like to create art? Do you like to do music? Do you like to move your body? Like, do you like to talk to people? Like, I think there's a lot. We kind of don't have hobbies anymore. And I think like if you truly want to get into more of a creative place, like that's it. Or like also there's a term in the yoga world called like a householder yogi, which I kind of don't use the term yogi, which is a whole other thing. But cultural appropriation in yoga is also a whole big reason I opened Fourth too, and that's a whole other conversation. But that a lot of people who like teach yoga, what we would call them like traditionally in the US is like householder yogis, and that like they have day jobs and they're not like renunciating the world and being like over in monks, and like practicing it as like a religious experience. It's like, no, like we're teaching it in conjunction with living in a capitalist society.
Yeah.
And so also acknowledging that like maybe you live a 9 to 5 and it's like not your dream job, but it's like you don't mind it. Like my husband loves his day job.
Yeah.
And like, is it like enlightening him every day? No, but it's like he loves his day job and that's the thing to be like, he loves who he works with, he loves what he gets to do. And like, is it like the be all end all? I don't know, but like he loves it and that's something to be said. And that like in our relationship, like I take more risks with like the business stuff right now and get to do that. And he's just enjoying his day job. You know? So that's kind of like my thoughts on how to get there.
Yeah,
Love.
that's awesome. I was saying to Hannah today that I thought it was really cool that the Hot Studio had the creative act by Rick Rubin. Like,
no
to
one's
sell.
bought a book once. From Fourth. When the new studio opened, I was like, we're going to do a retail play. And I thought we'd leave the doors unlocked. And then we just don't. We lock the doors like whenever we can, basically. But yeah, the creative act, I was actually just like picking that up this morning. And then I remembered how no one buys it.
That like basically is a good encompass of everything you just said.
Yeah. Oh my God. Such a huge, I read that in like building Fourth. So that was a huge, and then
That's
it's
so
that
cool.
and The Body Keeps the Score, which if you've not read The Body Keeps the Score,
I have
everything.
not read The Body Keeps the Score, but I think I am living The Body
I should
Keeps
have
the
brought
Score.
her. Yeah.
The score.
It's also a long book.
The
It's
score
a
has
long
been
book.
built. I feel the score.
Okay, Leila.
Yes.
What is your sell? We gotta wrap this
Okay.
up.
No, we're here for 3
What
more
the hell
hours.
is my cell? You know what is one of my cells that is because of Hannah? I've been incorporating putting on tretinoin at night.
I miss my retinol.
Once
my
a
God.
week. And I will say, like, I had to go gently into
Yes.
that good
Yes, yeah.
night.
Yeah.
But I just do a tiny little dab on my forehead and then like around my mouth. And Hannah taught me a really good method that I was not
sandwich
doing.
method.
The sandwich method, which, so sorry, Hannah, that I'm kind of using your cells myself.
okay.
But basically I'll wash my face, moisturize, let that kind of sink in, put on a little bit of the tretinoin, and then let that sit for a second. And then
Another layer of
I do my
moisturizer.
Vanna cream moisturizer on top and then go to
Yeah.
sleep.
People also like, because people are like buying retinol not from a dermatologist, they don't know like how to use it. If you put retinol on your skin when your skin is wet at all, that's where you're gonna like burn it. That's when you're going to like Shelby's face, because I was doing that where I was like, doing like a mist, and then I'd put my tretinoin on my, because every other, like you're supposed to put your moisturizer on when your face is kind of damp. So I was doing that, and then my skin was peeling.
In the sun, you have to be careful.
And the
with
sun,
Yeah, you have to put on so much sunscreen. And the Vanicream sunscreen is really good.
Yeah.
I was on a retinol for 16 years. It was glorious. And then getting pregnant, like you can't be when you're pregnant. So that's a whole other thing with pregnancy too, is a PSA, which like doctors like don't tell you, but you need to get off all your fun stuff. So you might want to look into that.
Well, your
also.
skin does look beautiful.
I will say that was like the first thing with getting pregnant. I was like, oh my God, my skin cleared up. I thought I was like finally found the new routine without using all the harsh stuff.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I'm pregnant. So yeah, your skin. So that changes too in pregnancy. It's like my skin cleared up, which was nice.
Cool.
Well, it's nice. And I was just telling my husband last night, I have all these like random things that are like not as good as retinols, and I'm like, I can't wait to be done with these and get back to it just gets the job done.
It
gets
does.
the job done. Anyways.
Okay, my sell. I'm not going to do a sell this week. I'm actually going to pose a question.
Hannah's
Breaking the
rules.
Guy, I feel tricked again.
Okay, last night, me and Carrie, after we had a couple of drinks at Central Park Bar, we were like, we want to go dance. I am asking Chicago listeners, where the heck do you dance?
Come to my
dance
class.
Where do you dance as a person in your 30-somethings in Chicago?
I love
'Cause
this.
we had heard about Easy Does It, like becomes like a dance on Saturday night. And we got there at like 9:45 and they hadn't even started DJing yet. I'm like, I don't want to have to wait until 11 p.m. to start dancing. Like, I need a place that like I can hit the ground running at 8:30 or 9 and
my
like
friend
dance
just
for a
texted
while.
me. Have you heard of this thing called Early Birds?
No.
It's like,
okay. Carrie might have been talking about that.
my
in
friend
DC.
went last night here, and she was just texting me that, I'm sorry, I've not texted you back, Val, but she was just she sent me videos. I'll show you it after. But it was like, basically, I think it's from like 6 to 10. And I think it's very like women oriented. And it's just like, and it's supposed to be like olders, but she was saying she went with people who were like in their 20s and stuff too.
Great.
And it's like it's like that. It's a dance party. That's
Where
not
was it
as,
at?
like, I don't know. We'll have to look
Okay,
it.
I gotta look it up.
Yeah, but
because Carrie was saying there was something in DC that was like called something similar. Or it was like a bar that specifically like the goal is to get you home by 10 p.m., but you still get to have the night
love
out.
That's what this is. Early Birds, I think, is like kind
it
of
might
the
have
same
been
thing.
literally that.
I love that concept.
Early Birds Club.
Oh my God, I can't.
Oh, okay. It's at different places. So one is at
Talia
Talia
Hall.
Hall.
Wow.
And
Beat Kitchen.
The next
they're
one's
doing
at
like
Beat
music
Kitchen.
venues.
Big.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. Well, I
Well,
pose a
sorry.
question, I get an answer.
Not to like mansplain, like
There was also a TikTok I just watched on this.
so this
my
literally
friend
is,
just texted me about
and this is what
Yeah.
Carrie told me about last night.
But it's like not regular. Like I think you have to
like pop-up events.
Yeah, and that's like I used to DJ a little, and
Yeah.
that's a whole other podcast. But that's a whole other thing. Is like the music industry is so late, and like there's kind of this weird sweet spot of like people want earlier nights. They want to go to bed at 10.
And I want to like have, I also
dance.
don't want to be on a dance floor that is like shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
I want to be able to like do a spin with my arms out and not touch
This
anyone.
early birds thing, I think, is your thing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, because Easy Does It wasn't it. That wasn't the solution that I thought it was going to be for my
Really?
summer of like being able to go out and dance. This has been so much fun.
Eleanor,
Obviously,
you
we could talk
crushed
a million
it.
times over.
Wait, I don't get a sell forth. Hannah can sell forth.
Well, do you want to do your sell for it? This
no.
whole thing has been a
This
pretty
whole-
big
I
sell
think
for
it's
promotional.
What, do you
I
have
tried
anything else you want to
to be
include?
here. No, I'm kidding. Hannah's clocked in right now.
I am, yeah, I'm done.
No, you sell forth.
Well, I was just going to say, do you want to offer our members any
Oh
special
my God, I
discounts?
totally
yes,
forgot to
there
do
we go.
that. I totally was like, no, I don't have anything.
That's okay.
Sign up now because we are going to raise prices in September.
Yes, and then if you're new, you can do 3 weeks for $89.
That's
what I'm doing
such
right
a good
now.
deal.
It's such a
Like,
good deal. Okay, here's my actual sell.
Yeah.
Do 3 weeks, that 3-week intro, you get to go to both studios, unlimited. You get 2 guest passes. Do that for 3 weeks. If you go for over 7 classes in that time, you get $50 off your next month of unlimited. So then you're getting a whole nother unlimited month for $99.
It's like we don't really do discounts right now because we have like too good of a deal going
Yeah.
on right now. So take advantage of that because we'll probably be raising all of that.
and you'll see us. You'll see us.
And now
Yeah.
I'm just realizing I have 2 guest passes, so I should figure that out.
I know.
Bring Joey.
Yeah.
Joey doesn't like doing all that.
No, but people like if there is a place like
Maybe you
respect.
can maybe you can talk to him after this because
I'll do my cell that I didn't do
I'll
here
try to
for
get Joey to like go to a yoga class because he's so stiff, but he refuses.
Does he do like bicep curls and stuff? And then does he go to the gym?
He sort of
Because the strength training.
Sometimes strength is a nice little
bring the boys,
and then they feel safe.
Yeah.
And then what I love about Fourth is there's not a ton of men, but the men who are there are so kind and they're cool. They don't give that like bro-y sort of
good guys.
They're good guys.
Good guys.
Okay, this was amazing.
This is fun.
Thank you for coming on. Thanks for being a great
Did you have a good
boss.
time?
Yeah, this was good.
Yeah.
You
It was
gave
a good
some
time.
good nuggets.
Yeah, you tell me. I'm like, what are we gonna pick for the like little Instagram?
Okay, let's take it
Things.
one step at a time.
We'll figure that out.
Shelby's
You're
got to
being
work
too
her
business
magic
minded.
now. I'm like, what really stuck out? I'm curious. So we'll see.
Yeah. Okay, this is the tradition. If
Okay.
you want to sing us out,
Do I sing with you or
no,
no?
You do
sing
it by
alone.
yourself. you have to do it alone while we watch you.
I can't wait to tell you. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Eleanor.
Bye. Bye.
I can't wait to tell you.
You did it. You know.
Yeah.
So, oh my god.
Oh my God. We're falling apart.
The great flood of the podcast.